Hey internet, it's Yasu, and it's good to be back. Oh my gosh, I missed you guys. How you doing? How you been? Back with new vibes and new ideas, and it's going to be a good time. And today we are trying one of those new vibes, new ideas. We are reacting and breaking down Doctor Who's Heaven Sent. I was told there's a mystery in this, and I'm going to try to figure it out using like cinematic aspects I see, lighting, camera, acting, dialogue, director's choice, set, all those things. I'll combine them into one, use my knowledge, and see if I can figure out the mystery before it ends. You think I can do it? Let me know. I know Doctor Who's been going on for a while. I used to watch Eccleston back in the day, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see what this is. Honestly. Although I do feel like something is missing. It's a little empty of a set. I love my set. It's a beautiful set. It's a little empty though. Corkboard, my favorite. Now that we got the scene set and all props ready, let's solve Doctor Who's Heaven Sent before it ends. Oh yeah? Did he jump out the window? Woohoo! That was a weird time to pause, I'm gonna be honest. But let's run it back and tell you what happened. So, we are met with this castle. It's old, it's dusty, it's got like stone bricks everywhere, and we see a faceless figure kind of moving around it. They seem to be like dying or in pain or whatever. I don't know. But what I do know is the fact that he enters this room, pulls a switch with the last bit of energy he has, and presumably dies. Sorry, unalives. I gotta keep it YouTube friendly. Nah, but he dies. And suddenly, in this big, fancy, futuristic tech tube thing, the doctor appears. I assume he's the doctor. It wouldn't make sense any other way.
I am the doctor.
Oh, thank you. I didn't realize. So, before the doctor says anything, we met with a flashback of this mid-20s girl getting murdered by a crow. Symbolism, putting it to aside because it's a flashback. The doctor's angry. He's like, "Oh, I'll never let you hold me here." And he goes out into the hall, and it's very typical castle, right? Stone, big windows, moss, which is very tasty, by the way. You should eat some. But there's one weird thing. There are these TVs on the wall, like these turned off TVs. The doctor looks around. He finds a spade on the ground.
What's this? Well, you gardeners, I hate gardening.
That's right. He hates gardening. That's why he's in red, because it's important. Watch. This is going to come back at the end and solve the whole mystery. Just wait. It is. He looks out the window. He's like, oh, I'll look around, see what's going on. He looks down, and there's nothing. There's literally only clouds. He's so high up that the ground can't be seen, which is pretty important, sure. I mean, being sent to this place so high up that you can't see the ground is pretty bad. But look at this, like framing wise. So in film, there's this rule called the rule of thirds, where you basically break up the frame into quadrants, more or less equal. But the doctor here is on that left third. And there's also eyes on the eye line, but that's not as important for the time being. That's just good filmmaking techniques. The doctor is on that third line, far left. I think it's for a storytelling purpose. See, in movies sometimes characters move a certain way on screen to tell a story that is more subtle. In Lord of the Rings, everyone moved from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. They literally start and end at the bookends. It's really cool. I love that. And I have a feeling that's what they're doing here too by having the doctor on that left third. Either way, he backs up from the window and suddenly the TV's on. And more importantly, the TV is showing him. Talk about reality TV, like damn. Either way, he looks back out and across the way, and he sees this little man. He's like a little stone monster thing, looking at him from across the castle, like the other end of the castle. The doctor, visibly upset, I would be too if I was being stalked. He goes away, and we cut back to this little statue dude, and he is slowly moving his way across the way. I think honestly a baby could do a better job walking than him, but he's slow. That's important. So this guy is chasing the doctor. I think that's a good thing to go. I think that's a good baseline to start off with. The doctor continues and goes to like this big, massive hallway through the center, and suddenly our little friend there is there. How did he get there? I don't know. He's on the opposite side of the building, but it's not important. The doctor does not skip a beat and goes the other way. I would not want to face something like this. The doctor runs for a little while and finds a nice corridor with a nice wooden door at the end. It's probably mahogany at this point because if you're gonna have a castle, you gotta have it built well. He goes down to the door, sweet talks it, being like, "Hey, sweet baby door, how you doing? Can you open for me?" It doesn't. He does a beep, boop, bop, 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 bop. It opens to a stone wall. And while this is happening, we get a nice over-the-shoulder shot of our friend here approaching in the background, out of focus. The doctor's, doesn't know what to do. He's like, "Oh god, oh god, oh no!" As this little monster gets closer and closer and closer. When there's nothing left to do, the doctor turns around, looks at him, and goes, "Chicken jockey." Okay, no, no, no. He says,
Aren't
"I
you
am
scared
afraid
of
of
dying?
dying." Everything freezes. Music slows down. The monster slows down. The doctor slows down. And castle moves. Wait, the castle moves? Yeah, that's right. The castle starts to shake and move. And suddenly there's a door behind him. And not skipping a beat, the doctor runs into that room, slams the door, and looks around. It's a very basic room, honestly. I mean, we got some windows, bed, some chairs, a door, another bed. I'm not good at bed math, so I may be wrong. And most importantly, there's a painting. This painting, I assume, is the same one of that lady that died at the start. The doctor's like, "Oh, Clara," and examines it. It's old. I think that the painter just had a bad job painting. He probably did not put a base layer first because he's bad at his job and we should fire him. If the doctor examined it, like, "Oh, this is old, yeah." And as he's examining it, a fly appears. We haven't seen a fly yet, but it doesn't matter because hey, look at this. Our friend's back. He's happy. He's like, "Oh yeah, you found me. Yippee!" I can imagine this thing smells so rancid at this point. That flies are gathering. Yeah, yeah, no, no, I'm good. The doctor monologues as one does when you get snapped by a monster, and becomes cornered. So what would you do in this situation, right? There's this slow moving monster in front of you, like really slow moving, an open door in the background, and like a nice easy access jump over the bed to get there kind of thing. Like, what would you do, right? Would you A, go over the bed, B, try to fight out the monster? Okay, well, whatever you guessed was wrong, because the doctor doesn't do that. He grabs a chair and tosses out a window, and then follows him out the window. And yeah, yeah, he jumped out a window, and that's where I paused. I felt like that was a crazy time to pause. So now it's theory time. There are a couple mysteries I want to figure out. First of all, where are we? Where are we? Obviously, we're in a castle somewhere in the middle of nowhere, but where are we? Who? Who is this monster thing? And who put us here, kind of thing. They may be one and the same, but we don't know yet. And third of all, why? Why are we here? What did we do to get put on this castle? Why did that man pull the lever and bring us here? I think those are the key things that I want to try to figure out. And I do have a theory. Although, after something that the doctor said, I kind of am no longer thinking this is a good idea and I may be a red herring, but let's go for it. So I think that we are in a prison somewhere, right? The doctor is trapped. This guy is the warden, and they're chasing him down. So where are we? A prison. Who is this? It's the warden, the same, and the guy that brought us here are probably the same. And why? Oh, that's simple. Think of that flashback we saw earlier. The crow killing Clara. Now, using only the information I'm given, I'm going to assume that that crow was sent by the doctor somehow, probably by accident, but it was him who killed Clara at the end of the day. So he was sent here to this prison to atone, which makes sense on paper, right? He's trapped, he doesn't know where he is, and he's getting chased. My issue with this is, first of all, the doctor said this. He's like, "Is this a trap or is it a prison?" I'm like, okay, well, never mind. That can't be the case. And second of all, why? Why would they keep him here? Why would they be chasing him down? Unless this is like just torture. Like this is just, meant to torture him. Currently, I think that's my main idea now. And I think I'm gonna lock that in that this is a prison that the doctor was sent to for killing the portrait lady. Give me 10 million bucks if I get that by the end. I am in 12? Huh? What's that supposed to do? Ah! This was I am kind of lost, I'm gonna be honest. So where were we again? Oh yeah, the doctor was jumping out a window. Now, immediately after that, he is in some sort of tech area. I'm pretty sure that's his time machine from what I'm remembering. But it seems to not actually be just kind of like a construct in his mind. And the doctor points out the fact that, hey, I could think so fast that time literally slows down for me, which I'd love that if possible. Yeah, that'd make my life so much easier, especially for like storyboarding. Yeah, man. And then bring up some questions. First of all, where are you? Yeah, we already did that. Uh, why did the monster stop? That's it. I'm gonna add that myself because that's honestly a good damn question. Why did he stop? Why squared? Why did this guy stop? Especially when the doctor said that he's scared of death. It's weird. And third of all, They asked, "How are you gonna win?" There's no winning, only sadness. And in this time space, the doctor talks about something really weird. The reason he tossed the guy out the window first is so that he can time how long it takes to hit the bottom. And then adding on to that, he mentions that he smelled some salty moisture from the bottom. So this guy jumps to the conclusion that hey, this is water down there, and full scented out the window a bit ago. Hits the water, and everything in this little mindscape turns black. Did he die? I know he wouldn't. We're 15 minutes in. Either way, he wakes back up, and he is met with I know one of the coolest shots I've seen in a while. Look at that. He is met with a lake of skulls. Like there are no joke hundreds, if not hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2,105 skulls. That's a lot of skulls. The doctor, he's like, what the? Just gets out of the water anyways, because he's being chased. He has no time to think. His nice suit is soaked. His shoes are worse. He got wet socks. That's an awful fate. So he walks into the nearest room and finds a lit campfire. Very nice of this warden dude to leave him a nice warm area. And some instant change of clothes, too. So the doctor is naked, ooh, and puts on the new clothes. But there's something really weird about it. The clothes are the exact same as his, down to the mismatched button. It's really bizarre. Like, who does that? Why is that? But the doctor doesn't question it too much. He actually fixes the shoes so that they're the exact same as when he came in earlier, and he leaves. And you know where he is after that? You know where he is? He exits to a garden. Now this garden's in ruins, right? It's dead, grays, not a lot of green. But the two things that stand out for me when I get there. There's a big, like, grave with fresh soil, and there's a spade. Looks around, checks for the nearest TV, and finds where the guy is, the monster. It's very ineffective to stalk somebody if you're showing them your exact location at all times, but apparently it doesn't bother this dude. He's easily like an hour away from the doctor. So the doctor picks up the spade and starts shoveling the grave. By about like 30 minutes in, the doctor, he's been periodically checking on the camera, making sure he's safe when suddenly the camera's showing a wall. There's some flies, but it's just a wall. That's weird, right? Why would someone be looking at a wall if chasing somebody? So the doctor looks out the hallway to see if he can find him, and bam, jump scare. The doctor panics as he would, uses the spade to block the door, and watches the camera and sees it walking off. Job well done. Nice little jump scare. The doctor waits a little bit, makes sure it's gone, and starts digging again. He digs and digs until he hits the bottom and is met with something, some stone. And on that stone, once he wipes away some of the loose dirt, says, I am in 12. Are you a Minecraft YouTuber, the doctor? You shouldn't be doing that. Jokes aside, though, he finds the words, I am in 12. And before we could think about it, bam! Another jump scare. And that's why I paused it, because it was, I was scared. I was spooked, guys. I was a little scared. Here we are, right? We have learned both a lot and very little. Let's write down some of the big things. First of all, I am in 12. What does 12 mean? Are you in 12? Is 12 a time? Like, I am in 12 as a time sense. The second thing, there's skulls. Why are there skulls? Why are there so many skulls? You don't need that many skulls. What are you doing? Are we collecting them? Ooh, what if that's just a big bath of vinegar and they are just disinfecting the skulls so they don't grow bacteria? I like that. That could be true. And third of all, the clothes. Why are the exact replicas of the clothes he has on in a lit room? It makes no sense. I think I'm wrong, right? I was watching this and I was like, okay, I think the prison theory is wrong. You could argue that, hey, yes, all the skulls are previous like prisoners and it's one at a time. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that this is something a little bit more abstract, right? Yeah, I think this is the UK we're talking about. They have some weird like stuff. So what if instead of being prison, this is a mental prison of the doctor? Hear me out. I know that's crazy. But first of all, let's point out big things. Yeah, there's a painting, right? There's a painting of Clara. So this somehow has to be related to him in a more personal sense. Second of all, he is gardening, right? This is important. He hates gardening. And what did we find? A garden that's in bad condition because the doctor hates gardening. Think about it. Third of all, This is his clothes. How would they have his clothes in a place like this? Honestly, how would they have his clothes in a place like this? Do you think the warden dude is like, oh yeah, I here's some nice clothes just in case you jump into the water? No, no, no. This is his mental escape. He knew that was there. You know why? Because he is coping with death. This is the death of his friend, and he is coping in his mind. Doesn't want to let them go, and that's what our little friend here symbolizes. Well, they're not evil. No, 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 not in a physical sense. They represent death. Yeah, they represent death. It has flies. Flies usually gather around dead things. It probably has an awful smell. It's torn up. This is the death of Clara. Chasing after the doctor as the doctor does not want to give up on the idea. He does not want to give up on Clara yet. So he's running away from death. But death always follows. Death's gonna chase you till the ends of the earth. Because at the end of the day, that's the one thing we all have in common. We're all gonna die. Which leads me to the skulls. What if the skulls aren't previous prisoners, but they're all the bodies that the doctor has left. Every time someone dies, he comes to this place, his mental place, and he copes with death, and by the end, he moves on, and the skull's added. I like that, honestly. I like the idea that from a storytelling standpoint, that makes sense, right? Why else would you show a flashback of someone dying if it wasn't for the fact that this is your way to deal with that dying, get that death? The issue is 12. What does 12 mean in this situation? If this is mental space, what does 12 refer to? Does it refer to the amount of days he has or whatever until he's out of luck? I know it says I am in 12, but what if in is more of a metaphorical in? Like I am in this. I'm in pain, not actually in pain, but you're dealing with pain. I am in 12. He is dealing with 12. I don't know. I think we're missing a big clue here. I think at this point in time, I have to lock this in. To lock it in that this is the doctor's coping mechanism of a mindscape to cope with the death of Clara as Clara's death approaches him. It's all one and the same.
But how long
Soup, 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 soup,
will
soup,
I have to
soup,
be here?
soup, 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 soup.
Forever.
No! Whoa, that's interesting. Oh my. Okay, okay. So, I think I was wrong, the last theories, but let me go into why. So after the hand pops out of the grave, we go into the mindscape of the doctor, and he learns the fact that this thing stops when he tells truths, truths that he's never told before. Him being afraid of of death, that's truth. That's where I stopped. So he says the truth that's never been said before. He did not leave Gallifrey for fun or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't seem that plot relevant. And we'll just, shown that this thing stops the truths. And lo and behold, he stops. Who would have guessed? And the castle moves once again. The doctor, without hesitating, leaves because I'm not sticking around. And through a nice little monologue and montage, we learn that the doctor has figured out he can if he runs and leads this monster across the mansion to the castle, he can have a maximum of 82 minutes to figure it out, figure something out. And that's what he does. So the montage, he goes back and forth trying to figure something out, eats soups. He eats soup at some point, which is kind of crazy. They just have soup on standby. I don't know. And he keeps going back and forth until he goes back to the original room he started in. He looks on the ground. He finds the guy that brought him here. He's a skull at this point, and next to him is the word BIRD,
Bird.
bird. Bird. And he picks it up and looks around, and there's another entrance. There's another thing in that room, another hallway, stairway, whatever you want to call it. He goes to it, goes through it, and you're not gonna believe what he finds. He finds room 12. Let's go. We're at the end of our adventure. He's got it. So he opens the door triumphantly to be met with another brick wall. Yeah, it was all breadcrumbs leading to a trap. So defeated, the doctor goes to the highest place possible, the highest pillar, and looks up and has a monologue, talking to the skull. And yap, 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 yap. And the creature starts approaching him slower, in a beautiful overhead. And the doctor says something really weird. He
What I
looks up at
really
the
want to know is,
stars and
I've just
says,
been playing about
"That's
with the
weird.
stars. They're all
The
in the right
stars aren't
places.
right." In this
Time to run anyway.
hemisphere,
No, I didn't time travel to get here. I
he
can
said that
feel
there's no
time
time
travel.
travel because
If I
he
didn't know
wouldn't
better,
know time
I'd say
travel
I've
waves or
traveled
whatever.
7,000 years into the future.
And the stars are just really
But I do know
weird.
better. So
He
I run
says as if
with the
time
stars.
itself has traveled 7,000 years. And as he's doing that, the monster gets closer and closer. And he turns around and says, I know the truth about the hybrid. No, no, not the hybrid from Ben 10. No, no, something else. What? I don't know, but apparently it was enough to satisfy this monster. The castle shakes again, this time more violently than before. The skull that he was carrying drops off the side, and the doctor runs. He has a theory that the door 12 must have opened, and he's right. In door 12, there is a nice like hallway. It's a metal hallway. It really stands out. Like it feels weird, as if this is the goal he's been going for. We see the doctor walk through, and he is met with a light. What light? Who knows? But he is met with a light, and that's why I pause. Right? I feel like I think I figured it out, guys. I think I was on the right track earlier, but I was in the wrong direction. Okay, let's go down the list though to figure out so I can talk about it. Where are we? I think I was more or less right about the prison. I don't think it's a prison for killing Clara, like I said earlier. If I did, I don't know if I did, but I was thinking that. No, we're in a prison for the doctor to confess something, right? Why else would this monster be stopping every time he confesses? And why would stuff change every time he confesses something? Who? I don't know. Who brought him here? I don't know. It could be some government official, or it could be whoever this monster is here. He wants to know something. Now, what does he want to learn? I think that's about the hybrid. So I think the hybrid is what they want to learn about. So here's my idea of what's going on. I think that this is the doctor who did this. Right? Hear me out. I think this hate gardening thing is still stays true. And same with the poster painting. I think both of these are important to what it's showing him that this is a tailor-made area for him. This monster is just a device to tell the truth. So it stays the same. It's a plot device, basically. 12 is a door. We don't need that anymore. What is this light? What does the light here mean? And I think that is what really connected the dots for me. So in the reflection of the light, we see some sort of like 4800 Kelvin light of some sort, looking at it in the reflection. And I honestly think this is some sort of like page for Clara. I think these are one and the same. Now, why do you say that? Well, why else would they have a photo of Clara of all people there? Unless this is meant to lead the doctor, to him, to her. If this is a prison for the doctor to get a confession, why would that be there? Oh, that's the final confession. This is the truth of what happened, or whatever. And by opening door 12, you see that. You see the goal you've been going for, which is Clara and some, in like Jurassic Park when they had the dinosaur snare. It's kind of like that. Now clothes, right? Why are they his clothes? And then the doctor says something weird. I took out of context to put in my own context. Whenever the doctor found out that the door 12 was a dead end, he said, someone's been leading me on with breadcrumbs to a trap. What if the breadcrumbs weren't to a trap, but it's the truth, and it's been like a loop thing. It's been like a time loop to have him go back and forth. That 3,000 years line is what really sealed this deal for me, right? What if this has been a loop for the doctor, slowly getting better and better over time to lead him to Clara, and every one of those skulls in the water is him. He keeps dying, he keeps this loop going, and each step he leaves another grip breadcrumb. The spade with dirt on it. Clothes. Heck, even the little like monocle thing that was next to the painting was all a breadcrumb left by previous versions of him to lead him to Clara. I think I nailed that. Yeah, I think we've got that, honestly. That makes sense. So I think we're gonna lock in that the doctor is in a time loop with himself, trying to save Clara, leaving himself breadcrumbs along the way while being in a prison that some sort of government official thing has locked him in to get a confession about something big, probably the hybrid. No need to pat me on the back. I think I nailed that. Make sure to, subscribe. I got it correct as your payment. Yeah, do it.
Personally, I think that's a hell of a bird.
Okay, okay. So I am like at the finish line, but I can't say I don't know if I can say that I did do the finish line. I didn't cross it. Ah, it sucks. Okay, so basically, so after where I cut off last time, the camera turns around, this big wall, this big like orange wall of something. It's rough. Like it looks like rock of some sort. He says it's something that's harder than diamond. I don't know. And in the background, we slowly start to see the ghoul get closer and closer, and then the doctor remembers something. The word "bird" on the ground somehow lights up something in his mind, and he, no joke, starts bare knuckle punching the diamond stuff. Like this old man is beating the poop out of a diamond. Why? News to me. But he is beating it. Like he's suffering each punch, chipping away slowly and slowly as the monster gets closer. It wraps his face as he starts to say something, and he supposedly dies. But as foreshadowed earlier about him being able to slow down time with his amazing mind, he does that. He slows down his death for him to go back to the main room, crawl over there, hit some buttons, link himself to the system, has a battery, pulls the lever with his last breath, and makes a clone of himself, an exact copy using his, I don't know, some sort of gene stuff. I'm not a sci-fi nerd, but that's what he says. So the guy at the start who we saw was the doctor. Started another loop. It was really cool. Then he falls down to the ground and writes "bird" in the sand before he dies. Then we get the sick montage of the doctor basically repeating these actions again and again, slowly chipping the diamond. And he has a poem going in the background. He just keeps doing the loop loop, and it ends up that at the end of this whole thing, the last thing he sees, the last like loop or whatever, he spent 2 billion years doing this. He has looped that long, the stars have changed that much that he spent well over 2 billion years in this cycle. Like I don't know how many days pass per cycle, but it's not a lot. So yeah, I think this guy's been looping for so damn long. And he punches through. While this whole montage's been going on, you've been hearing the story progressively get longer and longer as he gets further into the mountains. And it goes something like this. And the shepherd boy says, "There's this mountain of pure diamond. It takes an hour to climb it, an hour to go around it. Every 100 years, a little bird comes and sharpens its beak on the diamond mountain. And when the entire mountain is chiseled away, the first second of eternity has passed. You may think that's a hell of a long time. Personally, I think it's a hell of a bird." And as he finishes that up, he punches through. The monster behind him was like a cog machine, like it was a machine, and he breaks free. And when he gets out of it, he came out of like a compass thing, tells the child like, "Hey, the doctor's arrived," and end of episode. God damn, that's good. That's crazy. What a good use of a montage, honestly. And honestly, what a good idea. I am speechless, honestly. That's so good. I love the poem. I'm wrong on the guess because so basically they are in the prison watch thing, Compass, who we don't know that really. Whoever the heck he told the children to see and why to get a confession. That's pretty easy. The time loop thing was correct, but the goal was wrong. It wasn't Clara. Clara is probably just dead forever now. No, it was freedom. I'm glad I was told about this and I was able to go in blind because that's crazy. Now the question is, did I solve the mystery behind Doctor Who's Heaven Sent? I'm gonna say yes, just because I'm cool. You can disagree, but I think that I was like 98% there, and that's basically all you need. I didn't get all the details down, but I was basically there. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please leave suggestions for other like stuff. And if you like this format, I'm gonna do it because it's fun. But if you like it, I'd love to do more of it. And something I don't know what other mysteries, but I love mysteries also. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Good luck, Godspeed, and good night. It's so good to be back.